They fooled the entire world, won a Grammy, and then lost it all in one of the biggest scandals music has ever seen. Millions of fans thought they were watching two young stars rising to the top of pop music, but behind the glamour, the fame, and the chart-topping hits was a shocking truth no one saw coming. This is the story of Milli Vanilli, how two young dreamers went from icons to industry outcasts almost overnight. And what happened to them after the camera stopped rolling is even more heartbreaking. When Fab Morvan and Rob Pilatus first met in Munich, Germany, they had nothing but big dreams and determination. Rob was the son of an African-American soldier and a German mother, struggling to find his place in a country where he often felt like an outsider. Fab, born in Paris to parents from the Caribbean, carried the same hunger for success. They bonded instantly, not just as friends, but as two men who wanted to be stars. They danced, modeled, and performed around clubs in Europe, chasing any break they could get. And then they crossed paths with the man who would change their lives forever, Farian. Farian was already a powerhouse in the European music scene. He had a reputation for creating catchy hits and successful acts, but he also had a secret way of doing business. He believed that image sold records more than talent. And when he looked at Fab and Rob, he didn't see singers. He saw charisma, style, and faces that could sell millions. So Farian made them an offer, but there was a catch. They wouldn't actually sing. Instead, they would front songs recorded by professional vocalists while Fab and Rob performed on stage. For two young men desperate for fame, the deal sounded like a golden ticket. They signed, not realizing the deal with Farian would make them stars and eventually destroy them. Almost overnight, Milli Vanilli exploded onto the scene. Their debut album, Girl You Know It's True, became a global sensation. The songs dominated charts across the world. Fans couldn't get enough of their smooth dance moves, stylish braids, and undeniable energy. Fab and Rob were living their dream. TV appearances, magazine covers, world tours, they were everywhere. The highlight came in 1990 when they won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, beating out legends in the making like Indigo Girls and Nene Cherry. But while the world cheered, the two men were living with a secret that grew heavier every single day. The first crack started to show in July 1989 at Lake Compounce Amusement Park in Connecticut. As they performed Girl You Know It's True, the track began skipping live on stage, repeating the words over and over again, that girl you know it's, girl you know it's, girl you know it's. The audience laughed it off at first. Fab and Rob kept dancing, hoping no one would notice. But some fans began to whisper. Still, the machine kept rolling. The record sales were massive, and the fame only grew. But behind the scenes, the pressure was breaking them apart. Fab and Rob begged Farian to let them sing for real. They wanted to prove they weren't just pretty faces, but Farian refused. He believed the lie was worth more than the truth, and that decision would lead to one of the biggest scandals in music history. In late 1990, the walls came crashing down. Under pressure from the media and growing rumors, Farian finally admitted the truth. Milli Vanilli had never sung a single note on their records. The fallout was instant and brutal. Their Grammy was stripped away, the first time in history that had ever happened. Fans felt betrayed. Lawsuits flooded in. Concert tours were canceled. Radio stations banned their music. In just a matter of weeks, Fab and Rob went from superstars to punchlines. And worse, they were left completely alone. For Rob Pilatus, the humiliation cut deep. He struggled with depression, addiction, and legal troubles. The once celebrated star was now battling demons he couldn't escape. His downward spiral shocked those who once adored him. In 1998, tragedy struck. Rob was found lifeless in a Frankfurt hotel room after an accidental overdose. He was just 32 years old. His death was a sobering reminder of how far and how fast the fall from fame can be. Fab Morvan, on the other hand, tried to rebuild his life. Unlike Rob, Fab chose a quieter path. He dedicated himself to making music on his own terms, using his real voice. He performed at smaller venues, collaborated with artists, and worked hard to regain credibility. Though the world never embraced him the way it once had, Fab carved out a niche career, proving he had talent all along. And through it all, he never stopped speaking about Rob, his best friend, his brother, and the man he believed never got the redemption he deserved. So, was Milli Vanilli truly a scam, or were Fab and Rob victims of an industry that valued image over honesty? That's the question that still lingers decades later. Because while the lie destroyed their careers, the truth is, Fab and Rob didn't invent the deception. They were caught in a system run by powerful executives who gambled with their lives for profit. The story of Milli Vanilli is more than just a scandal. It's a cautionary tale about fame, pressure, and the cost of chasing dreams. And even though their legacy is often mocked, no one can deny that Fab and Rob left a mark on pop culture that will never be forgotten. So I'll leave you with this. Do you think they deserved forgiveness, or were they rightfully exposed? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love uncovering the untold stories of music's biggest names, hit that like button and subscribe, because we've got more unbelievable stories coming your way. Thank you for watching.